In this video, we're going to find the amplitude, the period, and phase shift of y is equal to -3 minus 4 times sine of x minus pi over 3. Now you can see on the right-hand side of your screen in blue the key to figuring out these three different characteristics of our function. And if you have y is equal to a multiplied by sine of bx minus c plus d, so we'd need to rewrite ours to make it match that. But if we do, then we can pick out the a, b, and c, and we can use those to find the amplitude, which is the absolute value of a, the period, which is 2 pi divided by b, and the phase shift, which is c divided by b. And so that's going to be our first task, is to rewrite this problem in the form that you see in blue. So all that's really going to do is we're just going to move the -3 to the right-hand side of everything else. So we're going to rewrite this as y is equal to -4 sine x minus pi over 3 minus 3. So all we did was move this -3 over to that side of our function. And so now what we've got is we have an a of -4. We have a b of 1 because there's no number multiplied by that x or coefficient, so it's just understood there's a 1 there. We have a c of pi over 3, and we have a d of -3, which we're not really going to worry about in this video. That's just about a vertical shift up or down, just like with the other functions we've talked about. Anytime you have a number added or subtracted on the end, it just shifts the overall graph up or down depending on the sign. But what we're interested in is we're interested in the a, the b, and the c. And so let's go ahead and decode that. The amplitude is just the absolute value of a. So for this problem, our amplitude is going to be the absolute value of -4. And of course, the absolute value of -4, that's just the distance from 0, and the distance from 0 of -4 is +4. And so that's our first answer. So the second thing we wanted to figure out was the period. And the period is just found by dividing 2 pi by whatever our b is. Well, we already mentioned in this case we don't have a number multiplied by the x, and so it's understood there's a 1 there. So for our period, we're going to have 2 pi divided by 1, which simplifies to just 2 pi. And so what that means is every 2 pi on our x-axis, if you want to think of it that way, our function is just going to repeat itself. It takes 2 pi for it to go through the whole rotation one time. And then finally, let's look at our phase shift. And so the phase shift, you can really think of it like a horizontal shift. It's just a special, word when we're talking about these sinusoidal functions. But really, it just means how much it's shifted to the left or to the right. And so if we think of it like that, you can go back to your knowledge and your understanding of previous functions. Anytime you add a number inside of the function to the x, you know you're going to the left, and anytime you subtract a number, you know you're going to the right. So keep that in mind, because that's not really given to us in blue. That's just something that kind of carries over from previous knowledge. But what we do have in blue is that the phase shift is going to be c divided by b, and we know our c is pi over 3, and we know our b is 1. So pi over 3 divided by 1 just gives us pi over 3. And so that means that our whole graph, if you were to visualize this, would be shifted in one direction or the other, pi over 3. But like I said, if we have a minus, x minus a number, then we know we're actually going to be going to the right, just like with horizontal shifts of other functions. So our phase shift is pi over 3 to the right. And that's it. So the main thing to keep in mind for a problem like this is you want to first of all be sure you write it in the proper form, where you have a number multiplied by sine or cosine. If you wanted to switch out this sign right here for cosine, the exact same rules would apply. But you want to have a number multiplied by sine or cosine of bx minus c plus d. Then you can pick out your a, b, and c. The amplitude is absolute value of a, the period is 2 pi divided by b, and the phase shift is c over b.